Before we get into the video, guys, go check out my good friend Uplifting Gaming. If you like League of Legends, Fortnite, Valorant, any content like that, he is your go-to guy. He just started his channel, he's getting going, and he's giving away a set of AirPods, and all subscribers are entered, including Chaos subscribers. Link is at the top of the description. Go sub up, good luck on the giveaway, and tell him Team Chaos sent you. Call of Duty has undergone lots of changes. Good, bad, features come in, features go out. But what are the features that you see them and you say to yourself, hey self, that makes a ton of sense, and why wasn't that there before? And please never take it away again. What's up, everybody? Chaos here. Welcome to the COD History Series. Today, we're going to be looking at some COD features that made total sense. Some of which are still in the game today, and some of which have been removed for one reason or another. You guys let me know in the comments which of these you like the most. Drop a like, and here we go. Let's go back to the original Black Ops and custom reticles. That's right, in Black Ops 1. Now, this is one that everybody expects to be in Call of Duty now, but it wasn't always that way. Red dot sights and reflex sights were introduced in COD 4, but it wasn't until Black Ops 1, 3 years later, that we got our first taste of custom reticles. Black Ops 1 they let you choose. You had colors of the red dot, different shapes for your lens, a whole lot of stuff then, and they really went all out. This was one of those features that nobody was really thinking about at the time, but once it was introduced, people realized it was good. It was awesome being able to choose a different color for your reflex or your ACOG sight, because certain maps clash with certain colors, and some players just have an easier time tracking with lighter or darker colors than defaults. And since then, custom reticles has come back in every single Call of Duty game to date, making it a staple feature, and a feature that just makes sense. At number 9, weapon prestiges in Black Ops 2. Now, weapon levels were introduced in Modern Warfare 3, but they were one-and-done linear deals that would reset every time you prestige your character. This created a frustrating situation where you would actually have to redo all your camo challenges every single time you hit the prestige button. But then, along came Black Ops 2, when Treyarch said, hey, what if we just separated the weapon level and the player level? And thus, the weapon prestige was born. Now, you didn't have to redo your camo challenges every time you prestige your character, but this also meant that there were extra rewards whenever you prestige your gun, like additional camos, emblems, clan tags, so on and so forth. Weapon prestiges was an awesome addition. It has since returned plenty of times in COD history, although it's not quite a staple feature yet, but I feel like it should be. Next up is the Black Ops 3 Gunsmith. When you think of Gunsmith in COD, you probably think of Modern Warfare right now, with all the cool attachments and previews and whatnot, but do you remember BO3? I know, this didn't give you as much customization for the actual gun, but what it did let you create were custom gun camos and paint jobs for every single gun in the game, and people made some insane stuff. COD was in a great place on YouTube during the Black Ops 3 days, and people were constantly making videos showing off the coolest custom paint jobs and the best gunsmith builds for the game, myself included. It's just a shame that custom paint jobs aren't really an expected feature of COD, despite them appearing in a game almost 5 years ago. Am I the only one that thinks all these new features should carry over from COD to COD? And I know now they have your weapon bundles with paint jobs, but let people create. At number 7, class kill streaks in Modern Warfare 3. Raise your hand if you remember these. Every COD game lets you put a ton of work into your custom classes and fine-tune everything to fit your playstyle, to a degree. But the COD game rarely lets you tie your kill streaks directly with your class. This was a feature introduced in Modern Warfare 3, and it would let you choose a specific kill streak package and line up for every individual class. This meant you had a class better built for Specialist, but another class better built for Assault, and another one better fit for Stealth. You could do all those things. The kill streak packages were all tied to certain classes, so you could jump between classes and get the kill streaks you wanted with the touch of a button. I think it was an awesome feature. For some reason, it hasn't come back much at all. Usually COD games will give you one kill streak package, and that's where you're stuck with until you're back in the pre-game lobby. I would love to see this feature come back. It's an obvious one and people loved it. Next up is custom emblems in Black Ops 1. Now, emblems were introduced in Modern Warfare 2, and there were lots of calling cards and emblems to grind for, but a lot of players wanted something a little more personal, something they could make themselves to really show off their playstyle at a quick glance. And so, Treyarch took this request to heart and gave us our first custom emblem editor in the original Black Ops. I know, it was a little primitive by today's standards, but it was a huge deal back in the day, and people made some really awesome stuff with it. And speaking of the custom emblems, that segues us into number 5. File sharing in Black Ops 1. If you saw someone with a cool emblem, you could just check out the file share and grab it. Plus, With the addition of theater mode in BO1, you could take screenshots or clips and throw them in a file share for yourself or others to see. Black Ops 1 had such a community drive to it, and that's why people loved it. Sure, the gameplay was criticized by a lot of Modern Warfare 2 fans at the time for being slower and more focused on gunplay rather than explosions and kill streaks, but Black Ops 1 did so much for the COD formula. They did. Custom emblems, file sharing, theater mode, it was all introduced here, and considering this game came out 10 years ago, it's actually pretty impressive they were able to shove all that into it. I know, people use the emblems and file sharing to troll, but they were a minority compared to the people who made awesome emblems and really cool screenshots for people to check out. At number 4, Nightmare mode in Black Ops 3. Now, zombies and campaigns have been in the main PvE modes for COD for a long time, but when making Black Ops 3, Treyarch realized this and said, you know what, let's just smash these two modes together. And they created a one-and-done monster of a PvE experience. Nightmare mode was a variant of the Black Ops 3 campaign filled with zombies, and it had most of the same locations, but a new story and zombies instead of normal enemies, and all the things you'd expect from a zombies experience, like power-ups, mystery boxes. It was cool. It was like a really long zombies map, and it was cool. It was one of those things that was such an obvious idea, smashing campaign and zombies together into one experience, but it has only appeared in one game, and due to COD development cycles being so hectic in recent years, I really don't think we're going to be getting this one back anytime soon, which kind of sucks. I would love to see a Nightmare mode campaign running on the new COD engine. At number 3, death streaks in Modern Warfare 2, and before you hit that dislike button, hold on. I know, death streaks have been a rather controversial feature in every COD game they've appeared in. They were introduced in MW2, then they came back in MW3, and both times they were seen as cheap gimmicks that just let less skilled players cheese a kill out of the more skilled ones. But when you take a step back and you look at death streaks as a concept, it made sense. COD 4 innovated the idea of rewarding players with immediate game-changing things for playing well. Modern Warfare 2 expanded upon that and added tons of new streaks and customizable strike packages. So, it makes total sense that there is a way to counter this and keep the bad players from getting stomped continuously. Infinity Ward, they added death streaks to balance it out. Now, a common criticism of the kill streaks is it makes the good players even better, and it punishes the bad players even more. But the death streaks helped find at least a little balance. I'm not saying I liked it, and I'm not saying they were good for the gameplay, but they did make sense from a game design standpoint. Now, implementing, that's a different story. At number 2, the Biospike in Infinite Warfare. This is a very left field pick, I know, but hear me out. It was cool. It made sense. For those that didn't play IW, myself included mostly, the Biospike was basically an explosive throwing knife. You tossed it out, and if it missed, nothing happened. But if you hit a player with it, it would trigger an explosion with the radius of a normal grenade, allowing you to get an extra 2 or even 3 kills with a single throw. Ever since throwing knives were introduced in MW2, people were fantasizing about ways to make them even better, and one of the most common requests was to make them explosive. But since most COD games tried to keep things somewhat realistic, an explosive throwing knife wasn't added. But here comes IW, a game set way in the future with a multiplayer that wasn't taking itself seriously at all, and Infinity Ward finally had the opportunity to give us an explosive throwing knife. I just think it's a shame that it popped up in a game like IW because not a whole lot of people played that game, but, you know. And finally, tactical grenade launchers in Modern Warfare. I've said this many times that grenade launchers in this game are trash, and if you're using it for kills, you're going to be in for a hard time. The blast radius is small, the damage is low, and the trajectory is awkward and hard to deal with. However, one thing that MW does and innovated and made complete sense was the ability to load your grenade launcher with tactical grenades. The assault rifles in this game let you attach grenade launchers that fire smoke grenades, scanner grenades, things that you could normally use in your tactical slot, but you couldn't throw them as far. This means you not only get the extra distance of shooting it out of your gun rather than throwing it out of your hand, but it also means you can essentially take 2 tacticals with you because you have the smoke grenades loaded in your gun while having the heartbeat sensor in your tactical slot. I think it was a good addition, and I hope to see stuff like this in the future. It was an awesome way to take the grenade launcher, an attachment that's been in COD since 2007, and give it some new utility that we've never seen before. And there you have it. Those are COD features that made sense. You let me know where you agree and disagree, and I'll see you guys soon.